All right, welcome everyone. It's Tuesday, April 26th. I'm losing track of time. April 26th, and it is week 4, our final week in our basic training series, which has been phenomenal. It's been such a great reminder. We're going over the last 2 skills, but the 8 skills really that it takes to succeed in this business. And it's so nice to just learn 2 skills a week. It's very doable. If anybody needs to review, all the links are posted in our business page. So in a document, so go ahead and look under files and you can either review again, or if you missed a week or 2, those links are there. And I hope everyone's taking really good notes, because these are the things and these are the skills that you are going to be teaching your new people as they're coming on board. So it's great to have that all in one place. And I'm going to jump right into the PowerPoint. All righty. And you guys are seeing just the one again?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, we shared victories. All right, so skill number 5 is, actually we're doing a few more than 2 skills tonight. So we're gonna start with skill number 5, which is selecting the decision. And if everyone can mute again for now so we can have a nice clean recording, that would be phenomenal. And here's the thing, this is something Mary Kay Ash said many, many years ago, that people need to be led. And that is more true than ever these days. Oops, sorry. That's more true than ever, because we're so bombarded with information and people are overwhelmed, and you are the expert. So take them by the hand and lead them to an actual decision. And as long as you know their goals and you're offering them a solution and you're showing them that you genuinely care, then that leading them to a decision should be a fairly fun process. I think there are some people still not muted, guys. So can you please just hit mute? Thank you, because I tried to go do it and then it took me out of the slides. So, okay, I'm gonna just jump out and mute everyone. Hold on a sec. I wonder if I can somehow. Bear with me. Oh. All right, I think we hit everyone. I hope. Seems nice and quiet now, so awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right, so also know that, and sometimes it's kind of easy when we're adding people to the group, that, okay, so they're in the group now, and you know, if they want to join us, they'll say something. You know what? People are busy. People are overwhelmed. So always be in touch and always be kind of leading them to that decision. So, you know, trial closing, they call it, assumptive phrases. So, you know, is this making sense to you? Did you watch the video I shared? Awesome. What did you like best about it? Do you see how there's such a need? Do you see that this might be a solution for you wanting to release that 30 pounds? Keep tying it back, asking great questions, tying it back to their goals, and making sure that this is kind of making sense for them. Because if we don't build the value of the program, and if it doesn't make sense for someone, then whether it costs $20, $200, or $1,000, it's not gonna. They're not gonna see the value, and it'll cost too much. And so often we get people to a point of they love it, everything makes sense, I totally can see how this can help me. You actually don't take the order, right? And I've seen this at launch parties, for example, where you do a whole launch party and then wrap it up and never actually said, okay, so now fill your name in on that enrollment form, and then fill your address, and I'm going to come around and help you decide which program is best for you. So that is something that we really need to do. So try to close in assumptive phrases. Here are some examples. You know, do you like chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry shakes? What address would you like that shipped to? Who else would you love to have with you? Are you guys still hearing that? Or is it just me? I'm hearing some sort of buzzing. Oh,
I heard it too.
okay, I just muted one more person. So just think about how great you're going to feel. Imagine fitting into that size 8 wedding dress that you've been coveting. You know, again, tying it back to their goals. And then really just being direct if you need to be, and saying on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1, I have absolutely no interest in this, you guys are all crazy, and 10 being I'm ready to get started, where are you right now? And if they say, I don't know, I'm like an 8 or 8, 7, 8, whatever number, well, what is it going to take to get you to a 10? And sometimes it's a little hard to be that direct, but you know what? Be that direct. And I've seen it work. It's uncomfortable sometimes to ask that question, but if people tell you they're a 7 or an 8, and you say, what will it take to get you to a 10? They might say something, and this happened actually in a conversation that I had with one of our associates guests, and they said something about their sister was coming in from out of town, and some other stuff that just didn't feel like that really was why they weren't a 10. And I said, what's the real reason you're not getting started yet? Because they wanted to get started. I could see that. And it came down to, like, truly they wanted it, but they had a financial situation that wasn't enabling them to get started that week. They did start a couple of weeks later, and they were able to share that. And sometimes we really have to probe, and it's okay. Like, if you really can't get started right now and you really want to, then that's okay. Or let's figure out a way that you can get started right now. So ask those tough questions because it really, I think it shows people that we care enough about them to do that, even if it's uncomfortable sometimes. All right, so you guys have heard about the good, better, best. Just recently yesterday on our CEO call with Susan Sly, there's a whole new good, better, best. And it's unbelievable how many people now are getting started with the business pack. So basically, it's starting at the very top. And you know what? Our enrollment form actually starts with that pack, right? So I don't know if you guys can see me right now, but I'm holding up the enrollment form. That pack, the best pack, is at the very, very top. And they're calling it the ultimate pack. And basically saying something like, you know, I know you're going to ask me what's the best way to get started, and I really want to set you up for success. And what I recommend is the pack that Isagenix, and this is a script that I got from that group. So I have to find out a little more about it, but this is what they basically say. This is the pack that the Isagenix basically named after me, the Business Builder Pack. So you know, you guys are business builders. And it's your business in a box for $1,100. So you pay for it with pre-tax money instead of post-tax money. Now, our second best pack is the President's Pack, and it's $5.99. This pack is like a tree. The big green leafy parts of is the 2 goals it accomplishes. It assists you in reinventing your relationship with food, and I love this. It assists you in reinventing your relationship with food as you begin your journey to recapture your health. The trunk of the tree is the 3 essential systems in a single box. One system replaces two of your 3 meals per day for an entire month. The next system addresses your needs to snack. Do you like to snack? I don't know about you, but I sure like to. And the third system addresses your mineral and vitamin deficiencies. It's not that our shakes need the help. It's that our groceries that need fortifying. Without our Ageless Essentials with Product B, your body's just not able to utilize all the groceries as well to put them in your body. So It's your groceries that need fortified. And our third pack is the Pacesetter pack, and it is a compromise based upon price point. Now, we're going to support you no matter how you choose to get started, but we want you to be aware that this pack only delivers 2 of the 3 essential systems that we just talked about. So that's kind of a new way of sharing, and I really like it. I think it's very powerful, and there are a lot of people, this is an interesting statistics that I learned on that call, that in traditional sales, 15% of the people will, if you present 3 options, 15% of the people will choose the most expensive option, 15% of the people will choose the least expensive option you present, and 70% choose the one in the middle. So even if that's the case, the one in the middle is a president's pack. So how cool would that be, right? And if the rest get a Pacesetter pack, that's still pretty phenomenal. And it really is setting people up for success. And it's coming from that posture of you, if you're presenting these packs, you need to believe in the value of them. And if you don't believe in the value of them, people are not going to believe in the value of them. I truly believe these packs are phenomenal. I invested over $1,400 when I started with Isagenix. It was the best investment I ever made. The return on investment is endless, and it's been paying me back for over 10 years now. So something to think about. And, you know, there are people on our team recently who enrolled with the business pack and the president's pack. And then if there's a couple enrolling, then there are ways you can show them to do it that's most beneficial to them so that they put more money in their pockets. But this is a really great way to present it. And the success rate of people signing up with business packs has gone up a lot. And guess what? People duplicate the way they come in, right? Because that's human nature. So once they join, asking that magic question, and this is something you guys will hear me ask this: are they a 1, a 2, or a 3? And there's still so many people on our team who don't know what that is. And it's our job to make sure everybody knows what that is and how to answer it. So you're going to get amazing results, and your friends and family are going to notice, or you're going to just want to share because you're a giving person and you want everyone to feel as good as you're feeling, right? So we can handle that one of 3 ways. Number 1, you can refer your friends and family to me, and I'm going to help them get healthier. They're going to love you. I'm going to be very grateful, and everybody's happy. Number 2, I can help you get your friends and family getting started and getting healthier. And as a result, you can get your products paid for or even earn a few extra $100 a month. And number 3, let's say, like, what's your biggest monthly bill? And for most people, it's rent or mortgage, something like that. So what if we could get that paid by Isagenix entirely in the next 90 days? So where do you see yourself? A 1, a 2, or a 3? Now, a lot of times, and you guys have heard this because you know, those of you who do calls with me have heard me ask this, and a lot of times people will ask you to repeat it because they weren't really fully listening or fully understanding. So be prepared to repeat it. So number 1, and repeat it to them, and let them tell you where they are, and let them feel good about. If they say, I'm just a 1, I would refer people. Say, that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, I love referrals, and I'll be so grateful. So, but do make sure that if people ask you what you're up to, that you say, hey, I'm part of this great team, and steer them our way instead of just saying I'm doing Isagenix and steering them to Google. So there are some really great NLP. I don't know how many of you are familiar with NLP. This is incredible, but powerful phrases. And imagine is one of them. What if? Imagine fitting into that, your dream wedding dress in the size you wanted. What would that feel like? Imagine being 40 pounds lighter and having the energy to play with your kids instead of having a nap after work. What would that be like? You know, what if this is the answer you've been looking for? What if this is the program that's going to completely turn your life around in the way you've been seeking? Either or. So either you can keep doing what you've been doing and feeling the way you've been feeling, or you can choose to get started and really take control of your health. People like us is another good one that can be, people like us probably would like the ultimate best pack, right? I know I did. If not this, then what? If this, especially somebody who's been seeking a solution for a long time and still hasn't gotten the results, they've been going to the gym, they've been eating right, and they're still not where they want to be. So if not this, then what? What else are you going to try? And then you're probably thinking, and if you know them well, you can go there. Like, you're probably thinking that this might be really difficult, and you can go into feel, felt, found. I felt the same way. I didn't think I could ever do shakes for, more than a few days or something. And what I found is, and share what you found to be true. So that is it for collecting the decision. And you guys, if you have guests in the group, make sure you start asking them those questions that are leading them to a decision. How are you enjoying the group? Great. Do you see the value of this system? Awesome. Do you see how this might be a fit for you? Do you see how this might be the solution to releasing that last 30 pounds that you've been struggling with? Do you see how other people are losing their muffin tops? Remember how you wanted to get your muffin top gone? How about we get you started now? So ask those questions, and give people permission to say no. If it's no, then it's okay, and just ask for permission to stay in touch with them. So the next skill is launching an associate properly, and this is probably where I would say spend the most time. And I know there are people who kind of skip over it, and you do, I did a welcome email and I put them in the group, and I told them how to use the products. That really is only a part of it. And if you truly, truly want to up your retention and the longevity of this business, you have to use all the steps of the system. So, and the system is to be done the same way every time. So think about this. If I was to call someone on your second or third PET levels and ask them, what is our system for launching an associate? Would they know? Would your team know? Have they been taken through it? And if their sponsor's not doing it, and that their sponsor's not doing it, it reaches up to us. I'm responsible. I feel that way anyway. If somebody comes on our team through whoever, it's still our job to make sure that they have a phenomenal experience. They deserve it. They've invested the same amount of money, and they absolutely deserve the support. So if the person who brought them in is not going to do it, then the person above them needs to do it, or the person above them needs to do it. This isn't a business only where you just work with the people you personally enrolled and that's it. Everybody deserves the same support regardless of depth. So the system is the system, and it works, and it's been the same system for years. There's a new associate checklist. Use it. You would be amazed at the difference it makes when you actually go through the new associate system. So your job is to connect with people, to coach them, and if they're interested, if there are 2 or 3, convert them to consultant and beyond. So most of you on this call would know about Eric Worre. And what he says is every multi-million-dollar earner has a concrete getting started system that does not vary. They do it, their teams do it, and it duplicates. And what that means is that you can't do some of the system some of the time, or all of the system some of the time, or some of the system all of the time and get the results. It's all of the system all of the time. And I can tell you there are certainly people, people find me on Facebook, they're not warm market, they sign up, they won't go through all the steps with me. And guess what? The retention rate is a month or 2. I'm not kidding. If they're not plugged in, if they won't do the welcome call, if they insist on doing things on their own, they're usually gone as fast as they came in. So the 8-step checklist, everyone here probably is familiar with this. So the welcome email, I think we've been doing a great job of that, CCing 1 or 2 people. And then if they're not in the VIP group by the time they join, which I would think they would be if they're on Facebook, but if they're not for some strange reason, please add them as soon as possible. It's going to just help reinforce their decision. The welcome call. And now we're doing so many welcome Zooms. It's critical. We're going to talk about it once we come out of the slides. I want to talk to a few people who have had a welcome call here and what the difference was and what it what it meant to them. Walking through their site, you know, it's our job really to be kind of a concierge for people. And people are new. When you think about it, people are really new to this until they've been in for a year or two. They're still really new. And I know some of this stuff seems like second nature to us and it seems so obvious to us, but nevertheless, it's still our job to guide people. Like, yeah, well, it should be pretty simple to, you know, place an order or do your auto ship. I mean, there's a little webinar about it online. Yeah, but you're their sponsor. And the role of a sponsor is to ensure that people get set up for success. So walk them through their front landing page. Show them all the great resources there. It's going to help build belief about the company. Show them where to learn about the Coovers and our management team and all the amazing things that this company stands for. And then take them into the back office. Make sure they understand how to manage their auto ship, how to place an order, where to find resources, where to find events. And I'm really committed that people, you know, a lot of times people have returns because somebody leaves something on auto ship or somebody put their first system on auto ship and didn't show them how to change it. And that's not fair. I always tell people I'm really committed that you're not going to get any products you don't want. I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to touch base with you for your first one. After that, you're on your own, but at least you'll know how to manage your auto ship. Really, really, not just encourage, but insist that they take those photos and measurements. Tell them, even if those pictures don't ever see the light of day, take them, because you'll be amazed at the changes that happen in your body, and you're not going to see them as much without pictures because you're going to see yourself every day in the mirror. So as you transform, I'm sure Chelsea can attest to this when she saw those pictures today that she posted, which were amazing. She's seen that transformation as it happens. So it's not as dramatic as when you see a picture side by side. Have them enter the IsaBody Challenge. Help them enter the IsaBody Challenge. If you're local with someone, do their pictures, do their measurements. Get them into that challenge as soon as you enroll them. And with everybody, the ACMDE, have your new person draw it out as you explain it. I've been doing this repeatedly for the last few weeks, and it's pretty powerful, and it doesn't take a lot of time. So if you need practice doing that, you guys, let's get on a Zoom and people can practice doing it. Do a video and post it in the business group. Practice doing it. Review the team welcome. I always tell people you're going to get several emails. So as soon as they're enrolled, I get their enrollment information on the form. I say, now what's going to happen next is you're going to get a couple of emails from Isagenix. Please save those because they have some important information, including your website and your shipping information, etc. Next, you're going to get a team welcome email from me. That's a really critical one. It has a link that's completely going to set you up for success. Everything you need to go through your system effectively is on that link called How to Rock Your Program. So make sure you save that and review it as soon as you get it. And then we're going to set up a call. I want to introduce you to one of the other coaches so you're plugged into all the resources in case I'm not available. And then as soon as you get your box, call me, have a Sharpie on hand. We're going to schedule a time and go through everything. I just did one today with a new gal. It took about 10 minutes because she'd gone through everything. She'd already watched all the videos, so she just wrote on her items and is ready to go. She posted her picture. I do ask people, please post your picture of your product in the group. So Anne did today, and let us all cheer you on. So that's reviewing the steps with them. If they are a 2 or a 3, make sure you get a new associate interview to them and schedule a time to review it and go over it with them. And then, of course, a box walkthrough and prepping through the program. The box walkthrough with the Sharpie, you guys, it's really powerful. And as far as returns, it rarely, as Susan said, actually, and I don't know I don't know, I haven't heard that from corporate, but returns with Sharpies, they don't see them. If somebody's written on their products and they've really taken ownership of it, they're a lot less likely to return it. So a solid getting started system is the key to co-creating consultants and beyond. Because, you know, if people know what to do and if people have the steps laid out in front of them, they're going to do them. It's people who, when they don't know what's next or what to do, that they don't do anything. They just get paralyzed. All right, so next skill, events. And really there's a gradient of events, and this is something that I learned from David Wood. And it totally makes sense. So the first event can be a three-way call or a group conference call, a webinar, a Zoom event, a live meeting, a small event, launch party. It can be a little one-on-one. A Super Saturday is a next great event, an ICU, University in Action, and of course, New Year's kickoff celebration, all our core events. Events absolutely are critical to the success of your business. Events expose people to so much more than we can, and I've never ever heard from anyone in 10 years who regretted coming to one of our events. People are usually so blown away. And as far as the industry goes, I think our events are pretty unparalleled. And not so much in, you know, like everybody has great lighting and the opening and the cool stuff like that at events, but I mean that what people really get to see and feel is the heart and the community of this company. All right, so our core 4 events, I think, are truly non-negotiable. I've traveled, let's see, what's the farthest I've traveled for an ICU? I think like a 12-hour drive to go to an ICU. So, you know, it amazes me always when people have events in their own backyard and don't go to them, let alone event, you know, so in your own backyard is definitely non-negotiable. But there were people who flew out here. I mean, Laura flew from Puerto Rico to a University in Action here in Arizona. And I'd love for her to share that if that was a worthwhile investment of her time and money. So get on Isagenix events and find out what is near you that you can get to. I'm sure everybody here is registered for Celebration. If not, I would encourage you to do that ASAP because Celebration has been selling out and you don't want to miss out. And get organized, calendar them. I have events calendared, and if you clicked on the link in the 90-day game plan to download the 90-day game plan, all the ICUs, everything is automatically imported in the calendar. But I have events calendared that even I won't be going to because maybe one of our team members might be in that area. So look for events for your team as well and help them get there. Call them, reach out, strategize how you could get there. Maybe you know someone they could stay with. Maybe you know people they could room with and share the costs. So, you know, that's again being that concierge, helping people who are new with airfares if you have to, help them tell them where to find good airfare deals, etc. And schedule yourself to attend events as much as possible. Events absolutely do build belief, retention, and certainty. Okay, and then the next skill is number 8 is converting. So it's that creating some urgency with the ACMDE, and I am obligated to show you this. I don't know where your Isagenix journey will take you. We have no way of predicting that, but I need you to know this because some of these have an expiration date. Some of these crystal bonuses have an expiration date, so I'm just going to take a few minutes to go over it. Please grab a pen and paper and write down the letters A, C, M, D, E down the left side. And you guys we've done the training on exactly how to explain this. Launch people properly. Also ask them, who do you know? I actually asked this a little differently. I say, in an ideal world, if you could decide and you could wave the magic wand, who would you want to do this with you? And let them tell you a few names. Who else deserves to feel like this? Ask them and let them really think about it and let them tell you. And what's the value for that person? You know, the value of transforming their health. So Jimmy Smith, we know and love Papa Jimmy. So the welcome calls, we talked about that. You know, everybody should get a 10 or 15 minute welcome call. Jimmy says, no welcome call, no retention. If they don't have a welcome call with someone else, they only see you and they don't see the bigger picture. And it really does take someone else to share the bigger picture. The welcome call also can alleviate that buyer's remorse that a lot of people, oh my God, they just enrolled, the credit card bill hits, and it's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? What if this doesn't work? But if you can get them on a call really fast with someone else and they get to hear another story, a success story, they get to hear from someone else how much they love the program and how it changed their life, it's going to alleviate that, right? So don't let go of your ego of having to be the one that everybody goes to, or that that you're the one that people should know. Expose them to as many other people as possible, truly. Get their 10-name quick start, and get the 10-name quick start quickly. Because no matter what, there will be those people, even when they have great results, they'll quit the program or they move on to something else or something happens. And the quicker you can get into their circle of influence, the better. Jimmy Smith always asks, who do you know who's done network marketing or direct sales before? Name some companies. You know, that's how he's built his whole business. There are lots of people who maybe are currently in network marketing companies and are not excited about where they are, or the comp plan changed, or companies are shutting down and they're looking for new homes. So let people know that, you know, there might be somebody who's looking for something better. So get people to consultant quickly. Have this belief, this is from Jimmy as well, someone who knows someone on my team will be my next big builder. And that's true. It doesn't have to be your personally enrolled person. It could be someone they know, or someone they know who they know who they know. It doesn't matter. With our comp plan, it really, truly doesn't matter. So if you're working with some people on your team, get a list of maybe 5 people that you're working with right now and get their 10-name quick start. Get their 10-name quick start and commit to contacting those people. All right, so a lot of money still being left on the table. I have to tell you guys, I get reports on this. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars being left on the table in the director and executive pools. So unless you're independently wealthy and have no charities you'd like to support and just have all the money in the world, I would encourage you highly to get to director and get in those director pools. That Crystal Director deadline is coming up. It's very doable. For those of you who are brand new, your deadline is a little different than the Crystal Reset, obviously. So it's still doable. If you make that decision that you're going to get it done, just get it done. You have to, of course, have your 6 personally enrolled consultants the whole week for every week that you want to be in the director pool. And it's based on the personal cycle growth. If you want to know more information about the director pools, you can go to ISA FYI and search bonus pools there. Executive pools, same thing. Executive is really, really where, you know, the bigger money is. Those share values, you guys, it's incredible. I in the last month, I think I'm qualified for something. It's not confirmed yet, but 100 and something shares in the executive pool, and holy smokes, it's incredible. It's like getting a little bonus every month. So how to get people to consultant quickly. This is something we definitely can all do a better job and have people invite some of their friends to support them in the VIP group. Have them contact their closest friends. Say, listen, I'm embarking on a new journey. I want to drop that 30 pounds, or I want to get beach ready, or I'm going to do a marathon, whatever their goals are. And I want you to be part of my success team, my cheerleading squad. Let me add you to the group I'm part of so you can be in there and cheer me on. Imagine if every one of your cleansers added 3 or 4 people to the group, what would happen? It would be so powerful. And you can bet if they add 3 or 4 people, 1 or 2 are going to want to join them. Teach them how to post properly on Facebook. I'm still seeing new people posting Isagenix, new people on our team posting Isagenix on their walls, still seeing them sharing out of the group, like sharing posts from the group to their wall, all kinds of things. So please teach them that right away. And help them call people. You can just say, listen, who are your 2 closest friends? And they'll say, Susie and Betty. Awesome. Let's call Susie and Betty together so I can help you explain what you're up to so they can support you, because they're probably going to have questions. And you can just say, I've got my coach on the phone and I want her to answer any questions you might have, but I want your support. Are you in? People want to help their friends. So call them, offer to do a launch party for them. You can do it via Zoom. And cleansing with 2 friends gets people a $50 rebate, which is pretty phenomenal. And if you want to make $1 million a year by chance, then you have to have $1 million attitude. If you want to make 6 figures a year, you have to have a 6-figure attitude. But attitude is a big, big, big part of it. And the power of a cycle, don't discount that. You know, some people think, oh, well, $54, you know, big deal, 1 cycle. But a consultant cycling once a week has a very high retention rate. If you help 10 people on your team cycle once a week each, as long as they're, you know, right and left properly, you'll cycle 10 times a week. 10 people cycle one time a week. Imagine that. Helping 10 people get their products paid for, and you will be cycling 10 times a week. That's pretty powerful. So never discount the power of a cycle. Celebrate every cycle for yourself and for your team. And here are the numbers to basically max out. Now that, of course, if you have a lot of holding volume, that is not the case. Those numbers would be a little different. Getting started. Systems. All right, so this week I would encourage you to take 3 people through all the steps, those steps to launching an associate. And if you didn't do that with someone and they've been on your team and for months even, go back to them and say, hey, I learned something new and I would love to take you through this process. Let's pretend it's your first day in Isagenix. I want you to experience all the success steps and I need to practice this. Do you want to do that with me? And find 3 people, to either brand new people to take through all the steps, including a CMDE, or 3 people that you can go back to. Schedule 3 3-way calls. I think we did, oh my, I can't even, last week was so many. I'd have to look in my calendar. We did so many 3-way calls, 3-way Zooms. It was amazing. And again, add 2 or more guests to the VIP group and take them all the way to a decision. All right, I'm trying to escape and it's not letting me. Oops. Okay. All right, so if we can unmute, or if you can unmute yourselves, I'd love to hear some takeaways, learnings, shares, questions. Penny.
I really liked that new script that you said you got from the group about sharing the 3 different good, better, and best. Is that something you'll be able to share that, like post that in the VIP business group?
I can copy paste it into the group, yes.
So we can use it for our launch parties this week?
There you go.
Okay. And then also in the photograph that you had, there wasn't a vitamin. Was that just a picture you put together? Because the vitamins weren't in the middle pack. So I was like, oh, I need a picture like that to use this week. But then I noticed that the Ageless Essentials with Product B wasn't in the President's Pack version.
So that's something, you can just grab that from Google Images then.
And just do it, okay.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be though, right? It's definitely in the President's Pack, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. That was really great. I liked the phrasing on that too. So
that was my oversight if I didn't include that. And I was grabbing pictures really quickly because I had to update the slide.
You haven't been doing really anything lately, so.
I know. Today was such a slacker day. Yeah, it's not in there. Crazy. I probably, you know what I grabbed? I grabbed the pace setter pack. That's what I did. All right. Thank you for
Anyway.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thanks for noticing that. All right. I'd love to hear from everyone. A little something, something. And you may still be muted.
Yeah, Steph, one of the things that I heard a long time ago is that the whole reason that the franchise business works is because it's systematized. So, you go to any McDonald's anywhere in the world and they have a system, and they've become multi-billion-dollar corporations and they've spread globally. So, I mean, it's no surprise that a system is the key to our businesses working that well. So anyway, it was a really good reminder. And I'm guilty of that. I remember Harv Eker said one time, the really successful people get a little bit bored with their business because they're doing the same thing over and 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 over. But if it's working, don't change it. So yeah, so I'm gonna get more bored.
Thank you. And that's such a great reminder. I actually remember reading that the whole system of McDonald's, for example, that literally even how high the toilet paper roll holder is from the floor and where it's placed and everything. I don't know if it's still that consistently the same, but their systems were very stringent. And that's why, love them or hate them, I don't go to McDonald's, but pretty much anywhere in the world you go, if you get a Big Mac, it's the same. And people expect it to be the same. And how amazing would it be if everyone on our team had the same great experience of support and cheering on and success that we've gotten to experience, And for those of you who have been with us for a long time, I don't know if we followed all the steps, but I do know, Penny, if we didn't start that way, I do know that once I learned the system, I circled back and said, hey, I didn't know what I didn't know when I started, and now I know better. And I restarted everyone, basically. I said, let's start as if it's your first day. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. She's nodding. I don't think you're muted. You're not muted.
Oh, yes, I remember.
All right. And Justine, you've been taken through a lot of the steps so far. How has that experience been for you? Because you're very new.
Oh, to tell you the honest truth, I love it because before there was nothing. There was no sort of steps. You kind of just did it your own way. And being somebody who's owned a franchise before, they follow a system, and every store does the same thing. Otherwise, you get reprimanded, and it works. So I got to consider this like my franchise that I'm building, and I'm going to follow the same system you did because obviously what you've done has worked, right? So I'm not going to try to recreate the work, but sometimes I'm a little overwhelmed because I'm like, oh, I think I just jumped to step 8 when I should have stayed at 1. So I'm learning, but yeah, I totally appreciate the system. It's awesome.
Thank you. And James, there are probably people who have not had experience in other companies and maybe with other teams. What would you say to that? Like, I really do think what we have is so unique and so different. And I almost wonder if the people who have never been in another company or a part of another team maybe it's almost kind of taking it for granted what we're offering here. What would you say to that?
Well, a couple of things. One, Isagenix as a company has been very strategic in where they've put the money. So even in the time since we've started, we've seen a lot of changes, but they really look at how do we reward the behavior that we want people to exhibit to become successful. So, double product introduction bonuses. So obviously if you introduce 2 people in a week, you get paid more. So why wouldn't you? having 5 people signed up and getting a free box of vitamins, a bonus for going consultant, a bonus for going manager and director, and the pools and everything. And so, the system has evolved over time as Isagenix has added more money into the system. But, the whole system is about just getting people to do the next step. And then Isagenix as a company rewards them for taking the step that we're showing them. And, I just love that we're with a company that is so proactive about helping people just do what they need to do to become successful, to get to the next step. Because, I mean, if you've been there around this industry long enough, you know that, it has a reputation well-deserved, because for a lot of companies, it's the, throw mud against the wall. Some of it sticks, the rest of it falls to the ground, and you ignore it. And, somebody gets successful because they're willing to just do everything on their own and figure it out. Well, that doesn't work anymore. It never was a good system, but it's not fair. It's not generous. It's not looking after people. And it's certainly not taking care of them. And I just love that our system and our company is all about taking care of people. And if you can not only get them to be healthier, but earn enough money to pay for their product, or pay for their product plus their car payment or their mortgage, or, putting money aside to put their kid to college, I mean, you're changing their life, totally changing their life. And that's taking care of somebody. And that's what we get to do by just following the system.
Yeah, thank you. The totally changing their life. I don't know if this statistic is true, but I have heard it so many times over the years that if you could add $500 a month to a family's life, many divorces would be prevented. So anyway, if there are any other takeaways, I'd love to hear them. And otherwise, I would love to give a shout out to Shane Willett, who is completing his second cleanse day today. And they're on mute because the dogs are barking, but yay, you guys. Woo! Most people are muted, but they're clapping. Awesome. All right, you guys. So we may need to make a plan of some sort for next week, because I don't know what Christine has planned for me in Puerto Rico. So James, maybe we'll chat about just doing kind of a fireside kind of thing, or we'll see what happens. Thanks, everyone. Shane and Stefania said. Awesome. So thank you for completing this series. Know that it's available for your teams. So, maybe even instead of, if somebody's new and just starting, you guys, if you have enough people, start training this, start teaching it. Even if you have 1 or 2 people, start training this stuff. Otherwise, if you're taking someone through, maybe give them 1 link at a time. So here's week 1. And you don't have to call it week 1. Here's the first recording. As soon as you've watched it, let's move forward. So use the tools. These are great tools for you to share with your teams. That's why we're recording them. That's why they're being posted. So thank you guys so much for joining. And I hope you learned some great things in this 4 weeks. I hope you feel more empowered to go share this amazing gift that we have. And I look forward to seeing you all again on the next call.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Thanks for your
Thanks,
training.
everybody.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you, James.
Take
Yes.
me with you.